Welcome. Today I'm fortunate to have Dr.KJ Sharma with me. I am Upendra Chivukula, and we are going to continue our discussion. And what we thought, small knowledge spreading, and it has blossomed into something that we are doing more often, Sharmaji. Today I thought I'd like to ask you about, they talk about yogas. One is Karma Yoga, they talk about Jnana Yoga, and then they talk about Bhakti Yoga. I know Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita talked about all these yogas. So can you enlighten us with what is Krishna, how Krishna taught Arjuna all these things?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. Yeah, as per Bhagavad Gita, I will try to explain all these three yogas. But first of all, let me start with Karma Yoga. First of all, one has to understand doing karma is not Karma Yoga. Everybody is indulging into doing action. So all kinds of action, all kinds of karmas which are being done are not Karma Yoga. You will find some people who are very alcoholic. They think that I am Karma Yogi. They are not Karma Yogi. There are two words in Karma Yoga, karma and yoga. One has to understand what is the significance of yoga which is combined with karma. When the karma is offered to the Brahman, then that becomes Karma Yoga. Yoga means to add. So when the karma is offered to the Brahman, to God, then only the karma becomes Karma Yoga. Otherwise, all karmas will have the result of every karma, every action. Only when the karma becomes Karma Yoga, offered to the Lord, offered to the Brahman, to God, then you are not going to suffer or be rewarded because of your karma. Because ultimately one has to understand who is the actual doer. Even let us think of Arjun. When Arjun said in the battlefield, well, I am not going to fight, then Krishna has to explain. First of all, you have to understand who you are and who is going to fight. When that is understood, that who we are and who is indulging into action, the knowledge will be clear, and then only one can be the Karma Yogi and not a doer of karma. So now, in order to understand that, first of all, we have to understand that who we are. We have to understand that the body in which the consciousness is present, and because of that consciousness, all perceptions are there, all reactions are going on, but who is the main cause of the perceptions and reactions? It's not the body alone, because when that consciousness, the body is disconnected with the consciousness, then what happens? The body is dead. The same body which had been interacting, acting, doing all kinds of action is not doing anything. And all the five senses which had been being interacted through the body, the same body becomes dysfunctional. So the most important factor is what? Is the one who is in the body. That consciousness on the whole, as infinite, all-pervading, is called Atma or Paramatma. Actually, that is Paramatma, that is the Brahma. When we imagine the presence of the Brahman in an individual body, then we call him Atma. But that doesn't mean that the Brahman, the whole Paramatma, cannot be divided by the periphery of the body. That is present inside and outside and all over, all pervading. That is why it is also said by the Western people, Western world they have perceived, and they say that God is omnipresent. So something which is omnipresent cannot be absent from anywhere. Then we come to the body. So in the body, though all pervading Atma that cannot be absent from anywhere, but then who gets connected and get disconnected? The body gets connected and disconnected. That is because from Atma, the Jiva emerges. For that, I have explained that as from the sun, number of rays, infinite number of rays emerge. Similarly, from Brahman, infinite number of Jiva emerge. And every Jiva acquires the body, or it gets infused into the body, then the body becomes a living being. Then the activities by the body is done by the presence of the Jiva. And what is the characteristics of Jiva? The moment the Jiva is infused with the body, then the mind and intellect features are there. So who's indulging into action? It is because of the mind, which acts 5 or 6 ways: Kam, Krodh, Mad, Lobh, Moh, and Matsarya, that I have already
talked about
in our earlier episode. So the mind is the main factor, which is the cause of giving directions to the body to act. So all those directions given to the body to act are only the karma, only the action. And all these actions have got the resultant, the result of it. So the body, mind, and intellect indulge into the karma and also will experience the result of the karma.
No.
But now the knowledge comes, intellect, when intellect acquires the knowledge, once we have the proper understanding, then we start realizing, well, but Jiva has emerged from Atma. And I am that consciousness, I am that ultimate consciousness. The consciousness is the knower. That is not directly indulging into action. Like when the sun rays emerge from the sun, because of the presence of the rays, all activities are taken on the earth. Sun is not directly indulging into any action on the earth.
Right. Sharmaji, to go back, talking about Jiva and Jivatma, Paramatma.
Yeah.
Now, there is this that, they say, I'm not the mind, I'm not the body, but who am I? That's the Ramana Maharshi.
That's right.
Talked about. So I think that's what you are referring to, that part.
Yes.
So
first, so that is why I wanted that, first of all, we should understand that who the actual doer is and who is not the doer.
Right.
So by this we have understood that Jivatma is the one because of which all the activities are taking place so long it is infused in the body. Once we go back and know the source, which is Atma, that is not indulging into any action.
That's why Krishna Bhagavan said that, told Arjuna that you are not the doer.
Right. And ultimately when he had also shown his Virat Swarupa,
right,
then Arjuna could see that,
right,
he's not
the doer.
And being killed, and everything had been happening.
So now, Sharmaji, going back to Karma Yoga, then there is what is called a Nishkama Karma. Well, let us talk about that, because did Arjuna do Nishkama Karma or did he do just Karma?
So first of all, we understood that whatever the karma is being done by the body, mind, and intellect, these are all karma. But when we know that, who is the ultimate cause of it? The ultimate cause of it is the Atma, the consciousness. So because of whom everything is being done, if consciousness is not there, then there is nothing else. No activities will be there. So that is why once we understand that, then we should as a matter of obligation that whatever the strength or factors I have, because of which the actions are being done, must be offered to the source. So when we offer all our actions to the source, that is the Brahman, that is the Atma, then that karma becomes karma yoga. Question arises that some people will say that karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga, these are all different paths. No, these are not different paths. Karma yoga does not become karma yoga without you have the knowledge, without you have the jnana. Unless we have the jnana of this understanding, to who is the doer, who is the cause, who is the source, all this understanding, if it is not there properly understood or imbibed, the karma cannot become karma yoga. So the jnana is very important. So without jnana, karma cannot become karma yoga. So that is why even jnana yoga, whatever the knowledge we acquire, again, a knowledgeable person should also think in their mind and intellect that all this knowledge is from whom? Is again from the same source. So this knowledge is from this main source, the Atman, the Brahman. It should also be offered to. Then comes the Bhakti Yoga. Now, in order to make easily understood, I will chant 3 verses from Bhagavad Gita in which Krishna has explained about from Jnana Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. Those verses are like this. Krishna says that it indasi sammido agni bhasmat kurte arjuna jnana agni sarv karmani bhasmat kurte tatha. Meaning thereby, जिस प्रकार संविदा को अग्नि जलाकर भस्म कर देती है अर्जुन, संविदा कहते हैं matter which we offer into the fire, that is called samvida. You know, the havan samagri,
right,
whatever we offer into the fire burns it and makes it into ash. Everything is burned by the fire. Similarly, the Jnana Agni, the fire of the knowledge, burns all your karma. Means, when the karma becomes karma yoga, when it is offered to the Lord, to the Brahman, then the result of that is all over. You are not inflicted with any kind of suffering or reward. So that is why, that is the importance of karma yoga. Then also Krishna does not stop there. In the next verse, what he says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram ihi vidyate tat swayam sansiddhi kalena atmani vindati. Means, he says that ज्ञान के समान पवित्र करने वाला दूसरा कुछ भी नहीं जाना गया है अर्जुन, और उसे स्वयं ही सिद्ध करना होगा, तब जाकर के वो तुम्हारा होगा. The Jnana Agni, the fire of knowledge, there is nothing else more purer than that, than the knowledge itself. But that knowledge cannot be yours unless and until you practice and be proficient in that knowledge, proficient with that knowledge. So simply by listening to somebody or studying from the scripture, you may acquire the knowledge, but still the knowledge cannot be yours unless you practice in your life, practicing the knowledge, doing everything based on the knowledge, whatever you have acquired. Then only you will attain the proficiency with that knowledge. Then also Krishna does not stop there. So now you have come from Karma Yoga to
Jnana Yoga.
And now, next verse, what he says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tat param sanjam indriya jnan labdva pram santi achrain adhigachati. Then Krishna says, even then you have attained the proficiency of the knowledge, you have practiced it, you are practicing it, still that knowledge cannot be yours, because of knowledge when you have acquired, the Brahman's Maya, the power of delusion of Brahman, will infuse pride in you, ahankar.
Ahankar. Yeah.
And the moment ahankar comes, then the downfall starts.
The
Then
effect.
that person, a very knowledgeable person also, will go down. That is why you will see in our society, lot of these saints and sages who are moving in the society, they are letting people worship him. And they think that they are very elevated people. So they go down. So that is why in the third verse, what Krishna says, Shraddhavan Bhavte Jnanam, means when you have acquired the knowledge, you must be devoted to me.
Right, Shraddha.
When you will have, जब तुम्हारी श्रद्धा मुझ में होगी, तब जाकर के वो ज्ञान तुम्हारा अपना होगा. और जब वो ज्ञान तुम्हारा अपना होगा, तब तुम्हें परम शांति प्राप्त होगी. अर्थात that is the state of moksha, salvation. That's what he says, Shraddhavan labhte jnanam tat param sanjam indriya. And he has also added another word. He says that you should have the bhakti, devotion to me, and you must control all your senses, because these five senses which is in our body, it is the cause of perceiving everything from nature and reacting with the nature. So you have to have the control on that. Then once you have the devotion and control on your senses, then only you will be able to attain Param Shanti, and that Param Shanti will come very soon to you. Achirena adhigachati means not in a longer time, in a shorter time, you will attain that state when you will attain the Param Shanti, means the state of moksha. And let me also say that a lot of people think that moksha means, going somewhere upstairs.
Liberation.
It's not that. Yeah. Moksha is nothing but getting rid from Maya, delusion.
The illusion, yeah.
From the delusion, once we are out of delusion, that is the state of moksha. Because at that state, we will realize Aham Brahmasmi. When all our rishis, when they attain that state of knowledge, what they say, they all uttered Aham Brahmasmi, Soham, मैं वही हूँ, मैं ही ब्रह्म हूँ, तत्त्वमसि, मैं वही हूँ, Ayam Atma Brahma, मैं आत्मा ही ब्रह्म हूँ. All these Brahma Vakyas, Mahavakyas from our Vedas are uttered by our rishis once they attain that level of knowledge and understanding. So, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, all three are intertwined. This cannot be separated. It is not that one can go only through the Karma Yoga and attain something, and only through Dhyana Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. No, these are all mixed. This cannot be separated. These are all one only. Because without Jnana, Karma cannot become Karma Yoga. Without Jnana, one cannot become devoted. Devotion cannot come there. So all three are essential to know. That is why Krishna has given the knowledge of all the three.
I have been living in the US for the last 50 years.
I
have seen so many temples.
Yeah.
They are being built. A lot of the times when you go before the township and the governing bodies, they ask, why do you need, why do you need this much space? Why do you need such a big temple? Things like that they ask. And some temples have one murti, some temples have multiple murtis. And then the Western society that we are living in, basically Judeo-Christian, basically, and so you have the religion, Abrahamic religions, basically you have Christianity, you have Judaism, and Islam, and they look at the Hindus and Sanatana Dharma. They look at it, how come you guys are worshipping so many idols? You have idol worship. People do that, and trees and snakes and all that. I think a lot of our younger people have tough time explaining why we are worshipping idols, and the question of the murti and the manifestation, all those things are not understood. So maybe we should spend some time idol worship and murtis and why we need so many murtis. You know, you have Navagrahas, you have 9 planets, and you have you have Krishna, you have Vishnu, you have Brahma. I mean, you have the Trinity. You know, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Then you have Mataji. You know, when you have Mata in different forms. And a lot of people go to visiting India, and then they say, "Oh, I want to go to Kedarnath, I want to go to Badrinath," and it's, of course, that's Shiva, but there is also Mathura, and you have so there are so many things that are going on, and people say, you talk about Atman and Paramatman, and do you have to go to all those places, and do you have to go to the temples and do the idol worship? What is the misunderstanding or real meaning of this, and how do you connect that with Bhakti Yoga?
Yeah. Excellent question. And I'm very happy that, today God has given me the opportunity to explain this. This requires the ultimate knowledge, which I'm going to share from our Vedas. First of all, one has to understand, once one knows the ultimate knowledge, let me explain that, then to understand everything will become easy. Otherwise, if I start explaining each and everything, then it will take time, and another thing that people still will not be able to perceive it. There is no other existence other than the Brahman, and Brahman is self. That is why our Veda says, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman. Whatever is there in whole of the universe or beyond is nothing but the Brahman only. That is why even the Western world also say God is omnipresent. And that Brahman is perceived by the human mind. Western people will call God, Hindus will call Brahm. I'm not talking about Brahma. Brahma and Brahm, different. Brahma is the wholesome. And our Muslim brothers in Islam, they will call Allah. All the human beings, all of us are feeling that presence of the Supreme Consciousness, and we call in different names.
Right. Thank you, Sharma ji. It's a wonderful learning and experiencing.